Freedom fighters, it's Friday, and I'm coming back at you with another episode. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing. I recently saw a video from Freedom Inc., and he was talking about sovereign citizens. And it's kind of a topic or a video I wanted to touch on, or a topic I wanted to do for a while. I've been thinking about it, and his recent video made me think about it again, and I was thinking about it over the week, and I was like, yeah, we definitely need to talk about that. But I guess one of the main points, I was thinking about, or I guess I should go back to his part of the story, but he had an encounter with a state executive or something. I forget exactly what it was. He said, I think he went to go talk to a county or state person about property taxes, and he was like, how do I, get on the list or say that I don't want to, participate and I'm not, paying for these taxes. And the lady, at the desk was like, hey, I'm just a clerk, talk to this person. And then once you get up to the uppers, he's just like, look, man, I'm not dealing with this. He said, I'm not dealing with this sovereign citizen, question, or I'm not dealing with you sovereign citizen people. And, I've had lots of similar experiences. I'm sure, you fellow free-minded, freedom-fighting individuals have come across the same thing. But, one of the main points I was thinking about that I wanted to bring up was, when was the first time that you heard this word? Because it's a recent term. I mean, maybe a couple years. I can't remember if it was even used before, like, the masked event, which was in 2020. Man, that's crazy. Like, time is flying. Yeah, I don't know if it was used before, like, 2020. I mean, for sure, not around, like, the 2014, 2016 area. I mean, maybe it was floated around and used a little bit, but I don't think so, man. I heard that more recently, when people were refusing to be locked down and stuff like that. They started this whole, what are you, anti-government? Are you this, sovereign citizen that they speak of? And, I've had this conversation with, tons of people, cops and stuff like that. And as soon as you start, exercising your rights or talking about freedom, they pull this card out the book. You're like, no, officer, I won't be rolling down my window. I'm not going to identify myself. And they're like, well, hold up. And you're like, no, I know my rights. I know the Constitution. Oh, what Constitution are you talking about, boy? I own this out here on the road. We don't have that Constitution around here. And there was actually a video. I can't remember if that was on Live PD or not. If you guys follow me for a long time, I did, Live PD and cops videos where I covered, episodes of tyrannical cops in action on TV. They don't even hide it. But I remember one guy said something like that, like, oh no, this is my constitutional rights. And the cop was like, huh, never heard of it. And I've actually seen tons of cases of that. And, there was this one, and I think in one of my previous videos where I talked about the infamous video of the Spokane, Washington sheriff. Again, not a cop, not some beat cop rookie fresh out of the academy, but a sheriff. Everyone likes to hold the sheriffs up on some high pedestal, like, they're the arbiters of, freedom, or they're the constitutionally elected, policing forces. They also are tyrants. They also violate their oath in the Constitution all the time, and I've, shown that over and over again. Talking about sheriffs also reminds me of that one clip I showed before of that sheriff running in, I think it was like South Carolina or North Carolina, where he says, these guys always talk about come and take it from my cold dead hands. Well, okay. And I don't think he ended up winning. He was just running for sheriff, but that just gives you the insight to the mindset of some of these people. Now, you take a politician or a senator or governor, someone in the mindset of like Beto, who's like, yeah, take the ARs, the AKs, and then combine them with a sheriff like that. Hey, you're just that's the green light. They're kicking down doors and filling people up full of lead. And, I go back to the Spokane, Washington guy. That guy was a sheriff's deputy. He was in uniform outside of Walmart showing off his newly acquired military equipment, armored MRAP with, 50 cal mounted machine guns and, all this stuff. And the lady was like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, we're just showing off, our stuff and community outreach. And she goes, but why do you need this? And what was his answer? Not for defending the state or the country against Red Dawn, China or Russia or even the sand people. It was, well, ma'am, there's a lot of constitutionalist patriots out here with a lot of guns and ammo. And again, so you're the enemy, you're the threat. And then they wonder why. If they view you as the enemy, what should you view them as? And again, I don't care about the Chinamen. I mean, I do, but I'll probably do. I've done videos on them before, but again, and the guy in robes and flip flops, in the sand hut, half a world away, that I'll never come in contact with and never meet, as long as they don't come here. And that's why we want a secure border and security of our country to see who's coming in. I'll never see them. I'll never come to face. There's no threat of that guy, coming in and depraving me of my rights. And that's the whole reason. You remember that leaked document? Well, I don't even think they leaked it. They put out the MVE one, the military or militia violent extremist memo. But then there was another like FBI leaked document that said, oh yeah, if you're a sovereign citizen or this, and even the Gadsden flag was in there. Because that's what it's really about. Again, this word has only came up briefly, but before it was just like freedom. Literally what your founding fathers stood for. And again, if you ever say like, no, I'm not, officer, I'm not doing papers, please. I'm not giving you my ID. I'm not identifying. Am I being detained? What's the thought? What's the crime being presented that you're suspicious of? And then they throw that word out there to guilt you, just like being anti-Semitic or the R word. They're just these weaponized words that whenever they're losing an argument, they say, oh, you bigot, you racist, and, anti this. And then you back down and go, oh, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. Or, oh, no, you just hate all the Jays, or you hate all these people. No, I don't hate all of anybody just because of what they are. And you didn't listen to my argument of the point I was making. You just called a name. And that's the same thing. Whenever you stand your ground and say, don't tread on me, and you're not going to violate my rights and my freedoms, they throw that, what are you, a sovereign citizen? And then they expect you to backtrack and backpedal. Oh, not me, officer. I'm not one of them. Well, oh gosh, golly. Here's my ID, and here, let me bend over, and now you're free to search my vehicle, and, all this. No, none of that. Stay wild and free, fam. You know what it is. Till the next one, we are on our own. Nobody's coming to save us, so get right with God, because only God can save you. Freedom Fighters out.